I'm Allendale's chief meteorologist Ryan Martin with a look at your midday weather update. Not a lot of change here to talk about at midday, just the same way we haven't really had too much of a change in our overall pattern thoughts over the past couple of days. Look, it's going to be getting wet over a large part of the Corn Belt already there today. Most of Wisconsin right now seeing scattered showers, some thunderstorms in the southern part of the state. Iowa's got scattered showers around. First little wave of action actually has exited most of Minnesota right now. Starting to see a nice line of thunderstorms push down into parts of Missouri as well. We've got a stationary frontal boundary draped right across the midsection of the country, just a little bit south of I-80, across northern Ohio, northern Indiana, northern third of Illinois, and it's then right down just a shade north of the Missouri-Iowa line. That's where the hotbed of action is probably going to be firing off this afternoon. Along and south of there, it's where we can see some pretty good thunderstorms, especially back in Illinois and Missouri. Low pressure really hasn't pushed it too far to the east yet, and the low is sitting just to the southwest of Omaha. When that thing takes off and tries to lift through, that's going to start to move this action farther east in a hurry. We are expecting round one of precipitation to try and clear the rest of the eastern Corn Belt by we'll say Sunday, make it Saturday morning, but we do have round two, round three, round four coming at us. You get the idea. As a matter of fact, what we were kind of looking at this morning, we're sticking by, that has frontal boundary or waves coming through every other to every 2 days maximum. I think if you look at things the right way, you might be able to argue for a 3-day dry stretch next week, somewhere between the 17th and 19th. It may start sooner and end sooner in the western Corn Belt than the east, but you get the idea. You might put together a couple of back-to-back dry days there. But you also got to put emphasis on the might part of that thought process, because right now in this pattern, there's just a nice open flow of moisture coming out of the plains, the southern plains, the lower delta, right up across the heart of the Corn Belt. I'm looking for our biggest fronts to be, well, first of all, the one that's coming through right now. Then we've got another wave, another front for Monday, Tuesday. We've got one for the 20th through the 23rd. It looks impressive. And then a strong system for the 25th and 26th. No reason to change our Friday to Friday rain totals right now. We're still going 1 to 2.5 inches, but as you go into the week after this nearby one, that 8 to 15 day forecast window, I think we could go another inch to inch and a half. And if you talked it to me right, hit me at the right hour here, I might even stretch that to 2. That's how convinced I am that we're not going to get rid of this moisture pattern anytime soon. Now, this is probably going to be seen as being helpful for crops that are in the ground. The one thing I will say is if it's going to be raining as often as I'm concerned it might, we might have to deal with a secondary ramification from that, and that's not as much sunshine as we would like to see. So we'll have to see. As we go back into the Central Plains, taking an eye here and throwing it towards some thunderstorms. I think we've got a batch of thunderstorms that's going to try and fire off later this afternoon in central to south central Kansas, back into Oklahoma, Texas, near the cool front and dry line. Might get a bit of a break in western Nebraska and northeast Colorado right now. But those areas are going to light back up probably tomorrow night and then Saturday night as well. So hard red winter wheat area is still going to be looking at picking up some moisture. However, this time around, with it being thunderstorm-based, I think we're a lot more hit and miss in our days ahead as moisture comes through, and maybe we can put together a slightly drier pattern as we move through the middle and end of next week and into the week following. Looks like most of the systems there in the extended forecast period want to trend just a little bit farther north, so it could be helpful for harvest in Texas, Oklahoma, and even in parts of Kansas. That's the way things are stacking up at midday. If you've got any questions on the weather, give us a call at Allendale. I'm Chief Meteorologist Ryan Martin.